The brave moves on unknown roads, but the cowardly men wield their swords from the behind. It was said by Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, I am going to share an interesting fact about his life. Problems come in everyone's life. Some people face problems and deal with them. Some people give up without fighting. Is there anyone in the world who has no problem in life? Will we give up? No, not at all. Through this short story of Napoleon, we can learn how to face problems, how we can fight. I hope all of you know the name of Napoleon Bonaparte. He was a great leader and the great king of France. He was a great tactical military leader. He rose to power during French Revolution. He was considered a great military general. Napoleon was born on 15th August 1769 at Ajaccio in Corsica. His father's name was Carlo Bonaparte and mother's name was Letizia Ramolino. Napoleon married to Marie Louise. Impossible is a word to be found only in the dictionary of fools. It was said by Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon made a lot of impossible things possible in his life. Napoleon liked to work with risk. There was a time when Napoleon had to cross Alps mountain to fight. Napoleon's army knew the height of the mountain and its difficult roads. They knew that it was impossible to cross the mountain. While Napoleon was getting ready to fight, he met an old woman who told Napoleon to go back with his army, because to this day none of those who have tried to cross Alps mountain have come back alive. Hearing this, Napoleon's army became more and more frightened, but Napoleon was not afraid to hear this. Napoleon gave the old woman a diamond necklace and told that I like to work with risk. Your words boosted my courage and confidence. If I could cross the mountain and come back alive, then you must tell the story to all. The old woman was so impressed by Napoleon's words and blessed him and said that you must cross the mountain and reach your goal. But who will explain to the soldiers? His troops refused to proceed. Napoleon called his troops to him and asked, "Have you seen the mountain before?" All the soldiers said they had never seen this mountain before. On hearing this, Napoleon told his troops to go with him. He said, "I will tell you when we reach the front of Alps. Then you will decide whether you will cross the mountain or not." The soldiers agreed with Napoleon. After walking for 2 or 3 days, the soldiers saw a mountain. The soldiers asked Napoleon, "Is this Alps?" Napoleon told, "No, it is not. This is a small hill. After crossing it, another big hill will come, which is more than twice as big as this hill. That will be the Alps." Hearing this, Napoleon's army began to proceed. After crossing the mountain, the soldiers came to a large field. Before that, only the large field and no mountain could be seen. After seeing this, soldiers asked Napoleon how far the mountain was. Napoleon smiled and said, "Which mountain are you asking about? We have already crossed the Alps mountain." The soldiers were astonished to hear this, and they could not believe that they had so easily crossed the mountain. The victory of Napoleon therefore boosted the morale of the soldiers. As a result, Napoleon won that battle. Napoleon had full faith in himself, and that is why Napoleon had so much success in his life, which made him a king of France from an ordinary soldier. Now, I am trying to present a short biography of Napoleon. Now we'll discuss some important events of Napoleon. Napoleon's greatest achievement in the field of internal reconstruction was the civil code known as the Code Napoleon. He abolished all the privileges based on birth, established equality before the law, secured right to property, abolished feudal system, freed peasants from serfdom and manorial dues, improved transport and communication system. Code Napoleon established a common system of law in France and was clear, orderly and systematic. The law ensured social equality and freedom of religion for all. Continental system or continental blockade was a strategy of French Emperor Napoleon to subjugate the British in trade front. But British was the greatest obstacle in fulfillment of his dream, so he badly needed to subjugate the British. However, British were very strong, especially their navy, which was strongest in the world at that time. Although the French army was strongest in the land, they were no match for British navy in ocean. Hence, through continental system, Napoleon declared a trade war on the British. He wanted to hit the British where it hurts most. So, basically, this system was the result of Napoleon's failure to subjugate the British otherwise. Napoleon announced the British goods would be prohibited from entry in any ports of continental Europe. This system gave a big blow to British trade in Europe. It even brought a temporary trade crisis in England. The blockade created a huge crisis in Europe market due to absence of British goods. This created a reaction in entire Europe against Napoleon. In following this policy, Napoleon made all the European countries his enemy. Despite all going problems, Napoleon became determined to conquer and absorb all of Russia, especially since it had opted out of his continental system. He built an army of some 600,000 to 700,000 men from across his lands and began his invasion in June of 1812. Having crossed hundreds of miles, troops were exhausted and overcome by the heat. The Russians refused to engage in battle. Instead, they retreated, practicing so-called scorched earth tactics by burning and destroying any resource, including food and livestock, that could be of use to the invaders. Finally, at Borodino, the two sides engaged in what was ultimately a costly victory for the French, who lost 30,000 men while the Russians lost 45,000. But the French were thousands of miles from home territory, and so reinforcing and resupplying their army proved difficult. Foreign recruits who were not as loyal to Napoleon began melting away as winter approached, and conditions were getting worse for winter. The remaining 100,000 invaders marched on from Borodino, but on reaching their destination, they found the city consumed by fire. Shelter and other necessities were once again in short supply. Still, Napoleon waited for Russians to surrender and agree to terms. When the surrender failed to materialize, Napoleon led his depleted, starving, and frost-bitten army westward to Poland. Many had died. Many other soldiers had deserted, and more French troops would be killed. Only 40,000 of Napoleon's soldiers reached Poland alive in 1813. Under these circumstances, the many countries formed a coalition against him and defeated him in the Battle of Leipzig. In 1814, he abdicated and headed for exile to the island of Elba. After 1 year, Napoleon escaped from Elba and tried his luck to capture the throne of France once again. However, he was again defeated by the coalition of nations in the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815. He was taken as a prisoner and exiled to the island of St. Helena, where he died in 1821.